Hey everybody, welcome back to another War of the Visions video. Today we're going to be covering the upcoming UR Vision cards that should be coming out this week. I'm going on vacation, so I'm filming this a little bit early, and I haven't seen the news yet that will be dropping tomorrow or on Monday. So hopefully it's going to be the Diabolos Vision card plus Esper, as well as the Uzakura card that has Dario and Venera on it. And I'm going off Game 8 for the name there because I do not speak or read Japanese. So let's get into the should you pull, and I certainly hope that it's topical for you. Right before we get into the cards, I want to quickly shout out my Discord channel. You can find the link for it down in the description, and hopefully you can come join us. We've got a small community, but it's super fun catching up with everybody, and we're talking about all sorts of games, not just War of the Visions. So if you play any other gacha games, then we've got a community for you. So let's move on in to the first card, and we're going to take a look at the Uzakura card because this one is super interesting to me with the acquired AP up. So you can see here that it's a pretty well balanced card. It gives you some solid attack, HP, and magic stats across the board. Of course, that's looking at the max stats, but we kind of look at the max stats to see what the distribution is going to be like, if it's going to be a card with an okay effect with bad stats, or a magic geared card, or attack geared card, etc. So this looks like a pretty balanced card. The unit effect is going to be to increase light resistance, and you can get that all the way up to a 10%, which is pretty good for a bestowed effect. The bestowed effects are generally a little bit lower because they stack with the party effects, and then you can get a lot of resistance on your party and your units by mixing cards, so they have to kind of balance it at some point. The party effect is going to be acquired AP up, which is a really awesome ability, and one that I just learned a little bit more about recently from a Reddit post by DesuSnow. So this post, which we'll take a look at in a second here, has information on Lunaverve, which is the TMR ability for Medina, and when maxed, it's going to give you a 50% increase in acquired AP, and they went on in this post to talk about what that looks like. So for example, on a 42 TP skill, that's going to give you an extra 10 AP, which is a really big deal. So that makes this card something that's a lot more accessible to people, because it's not going to be, you don't need a maxed Medina and to have to equip a certain piece of equipment, which is an armor, just to get this effect and then use it. It's just going to be a passive effect that's going to apply to all of your party members, even if they don't have like a buff on them. So it's a really, really cool effect. Now, here's where we have to get realistic. This is a vision card that we have to pull and then pull more copies of and awaken and do all of that nonsense. So I'll link this post in the description below if you want to check it out. But serious shout out to DesuSnow, and then to Fall of Green for doing this testing and making this awesome post. Alright, let's take a look at the card in the actual builder, because when we look at the max card, we're looking at a very idealistic state where you have pulled it this many times or got the shards, etc., and that's not going to be the case for all of us. So we have to see, for the majority of players, is this going to be worth pulling for and building? And keep in mind that it's not a limited card, so that means that you will have more time to build it over the course of playing the game. But going all the way down to our max level, you've pulled the card, you have acquired AP up 17%. What's that going to get you? Well, on the same TP skill, I've got a little calculator here. On the same 21 TP skill that would have gotten you the extra 10 TP with the 50% increased AP, well, that's only going to get you about 3.5 AP with this card maxed at level 40. So that's really not that big a deal. Like 3 extra AP, that's not going to help you out a ton. So what about if we then got 1 dupe and we were able to raise it again. So at this point, we would have that 23 increase, and it would be a increase of about 4 AP, so about like 4.8, so like basically 5 AP. So we're still not getting that much AP compared to a whopping 10 more. So there really is a point where this card might not be worth it. The increase in light is also very low, although I think that resistances, when you can stack them and you can target people, everything is valuable. But just looking at getting the AP up here, we're looking at having to maybe start to get it up to 2 stars or even 3 stars, because even at 3 stars at 34, we're looking at an increase in AP. Oh my goodness. Of about 7. So that's obviously a lot better. That's going to get you closer to using like skills 2 turns in a row, or maybe a future turn 2 turns in a row, where you get to use multiple AP skills. I think this is going to be a very strong card on units that don't get to attack every turn, units that have to use TP skills but maybe don't have access to expensive TP skills. I can think of an example of my own team, Lilith, who doesn't have much move and needs to approach the enemy. She has ranger skills, but once she's used one, she's totally out of AP, and her TP skills she only has a few and they all are very cheap, so she has trouble generating AP in combat, which can be a bit of an issue. So this card would help her out a lot, but I'm sure that there's people on all of your teams that would need extra AP, or even units that don't necessarily need it to be fine, but would be even better if they could just be using their skills all the time. So I think that this is a card that you pull for if you are comfortable with your spending and you want to build it right away and implement it into your team. I don't think that this is a card that a free-to-play player or a minnow should be pulling for, because I just don't know that you're going to be able to get it to a usable level right away. So I say let the inertia carry you through the game, and eventually you are going to pull this card anyway. You'll get more versions of it, you'll be able to raise it up in level, and it will be a better card for you in the future. But I think with the FFTA 2 coming up, as well as some other banners, I think it's better just to pass on this for most players. But again, pulling is subjective in this game, so you do you. This next card has a little bit more of a catch to it, because it is a card that comes with an Esper. So it is a card that you will want to pull not just for the vision card, but also for the Esper. But man, this is a pretty cool vision card. So we're gonna have the bestowed effect is gonna give you up to 10 dark attack, and then the party effect will give you a further 35 dark attack. So if you were able to max this, then you are going to be able to make your Stern or Venera or whoever super powered, and I think that's super fun. A dark party and light parties too are very fun to play, because the element that they're strong against is the element that they're weak against, so you don't have to worry about being caught out against a party that is strong against you, but you're not able to do anything, you're weak against them. It's just you're always going to be strong against light, and sure, they're going to be strong against you, but yeah, you just kill them first. So this is definitely a very specific card, because if you're like me, you might only have one dark unit. For example, I just have Ryu built and I don't have any other dark units, so this doesn't appeal to me as a card. It does get some good attacking stats and then lower magic stats as well. So the question here is going to be if you need the Diabolos Esper. So if we take a look at the Esper, it's actually going to be magic based rather than attack based like the card was. This Esper is going to have some pretty sweet magic skills as well. It is going to make you a little bit weaker to light though, so keep that in mind. So if we're looking at this board, there's a couple things that stand out to me here. One of them is the slash resistance. So we can actually get a further 15 slash resist, which is nothing to shake a stick at. And then there's some magic stats, of course, as well. We've got a 20% increase to magic. We've got some light killer. I got a new mic and it's actually blocking my screen right now. I had to look around it. So we also get magic attack, which is really awesome. So you're going to get 15 magic attack. So if you increase your magic and your magic attack, then this is going to make your Kilfei, your Medina, whoever, super powerful. So it's definitely a really good Esper for magic users, and they usually have a weakness to slash attack, so I don't know how far you can dabble into all of these different areas reasonably, but there's definitely a lot of good board pieces here. So this is a very, very good Esper. You also get some Demon Killer, some of the critical rate, accuracy, all that stuff, increased TP, and then Light Killer is also very interesting and pretty useful for killing all these light tanks that we seem to be facing constantly. So that's nothing to, that's something you can't discount as well. So the question is, do you already have a magic Esper? How many magic units do you have? Do you need to add to that pool? Because that's really going to be your motivation for pulling for Diabolos or not, is whether or not you have space for him in your team. So let's get down to the big question on everyone's mind. Should you be pulling on this banner? And I actually don't know if these are going to be on the same banner or how it's all going to work out and the types of step ups that they'll put on here. But let's take a look at the release schedule. So we are right around here with the 2 vision cards that should be coming next week if we follow Japan's schedule. Then we'll have another unit banner before FFTA 2, and that should all be wrapped up by the end of August. Before getting into the winter months, we're going to be getting all sorts of fun units here that I'm very excited for at the top. So I really don't think this is a banner for you to pull on unless A, you are a whale and these are cards that are going to be supporting your team and you would like to get in max, or B, that the Diabolos Esper is something that you really need for your team. You've been very unlucky so far and you haven't been able to pull Ramu or Shiva. Well, then this is going to be your chance to get this magic Esper for your team. Or maybe we're getting into the magic meta and there are more magic attackers than you used to have in your party. You've got Kilfei and Medina and somebody else, and you just need more magic Espers to support them. Well, then maybe that's a decision that you can make. If you're feeling good on units, then by all means getting this Esper won't be the worst thing for you. So I do think that there are circumstances where you're going to be pulling for this. I just think that in most people's cases, these are the types of banners that you skip while you wait for the unit that's really going to take your team to the next level. All right, that's it. We're done for this video, so I hope it was useful to you, and you can let me know in the comments below where I will meet up with you and try to respond to as many as I can. And we've got more videos coming soon because I'll just be making as many as I can on vacation, except for when I go away next week, and I'll be putting those up. So come check us out in Discord and chat with us there as well, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/MassidiaGaming. Until next time, keep it real, Massidians.